Power, it is intoxicating. It can be seductive. It draws people in, promising them influence, control, and the ability to shape the world around them. The allure of power can be almost irresistible, a siren call that beckons even the most humble of individuals. Yet power can corrupt even the most well-intentioned individuals. The transformation can be subtle at first, a small compromise here, a minor ethical lapse there. But over time, these small transgressions can accumulate, leading to a complete moral downfall. Throughout history, we have witnessed the devastating consequences of unchecked power. From ancient empires to modern states, the abuse of power has led to oppression, conflict, and suffering on an unimaginable scale. From tyrannical rulers to ruthless CEOs, the abuse of power has left countless lives shattered and organizations in ruins. The impact of such actions is far-reaching, affecting not just the immediate victims, but also the broader society and future generations. This essay delves into the stories of 7 infamous leaders. These are not just tales of individual failings, but also cautionary tales for all of us. They highlight the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of maintaining ethical standards. These individuals, driven by greed, ego, or a lust for control, inflicted significant harm on their employees, their organizations, and society as a whole. Their stories serve as stark reminders of the destructive potential of power when it is wielded without accountability. Their actions serve as stark reminders of the importance of ethical leadership. Ethical leadership is not just a lofty ideal, but a practical necessity for the well-being of any organization or society. We will explore the intricate ways in which these leaders exploited their positions. By understanding their methods, we can better guard against similar abuses in the future. We will examine the devastating consequences of their actions. The human cost of their decisions is often incalculable, leaving deep scars that can take generations to heal. And we will learn valuable lessons about the importance of accountability, transparency, and integrity in positions of power. These principles are not just theoretical concepts, but essential practices that can prevent the abuse of power. Join me now as we journey through history to uncover the stories of power abused and the lessons we can learn from them. Together, we will explore how we can build a future where power is used responsibly and ethically for the benefit of all. George Pullman, the man behind the Pullman sleeping car, was a visionary entrepreneur. His innovative designs and business acumen transformed the rail travel industry. He revolutionized rail travel with his luxurious train cars, offering unprecedented comfort and elegance to passengers. These cars became synonymous with high-class travel, setting a new standard in the industry. However, Pullman's success was built on the backs of his workers, whom he controlled with an iron fist. The workers faced grueling conditions, long hours and minimal pay, all while being under the watchful eye of Pullman's management. Pullman built a company town near Chicago to house his workers. This town was designed to be a model community with clean streets, well-maintained homes, and various amenities. He believed that by controlling their living conditions, he could ensure a productive workforce. The houses were well constructed, but they came with a price: strict rules and high rents. However, Pullman's paternalistic approach quickly turned oppressive. The workers had little freedom and were constantly monitored, creating an atmosphere of tension and resentment. He dictated every aspect of his workers' lives, from the rent they paid to the goods they could purchase. The company store, where workers were forced to shop, charged exorbitant prices. Workers were paid in company scrip, redeemable only at company stores with inflated prices. This system trapped them in a cycle of debt and dependency, making it nearly impossible to save money or improve their situation. They toiled long hours in dangerous conditions for meager wages. Dissent was not tolerated, and any attempt to organize or protest was swiftly crushed by Pullman's enforcers.
We are born in a Pullman house, fed from a Pullman shop, taught in a Pullman school, catechized in the Pullman church, and when we die, we shall be buried in the Pullman cemetery, and our souls will go to Pullman hell. This sentiment echoed the deep frustration and despair felt by many workers trapped in Pullman's system.
In 1894, Pullman's iron grip finally sparked a rebellion. The workers, pushed to their limits, decided to take a stand against the oppressive conditions. The Pullman strike, a nationwide railroad boycott, paralyzed the country's transportation system. This massive strike drew national attention and highlighted the dire conditions faced by industrial workers, ultimately leading to significant changes in labor laws and workers' rights. Leona Helmsley, the Queen of Mean, was a prominent figure in the New York real estate scene. Her name became synonymous with luxury and power. Known for her lavish lifestyle and ruthless business practices, she built an empire that was both admired and feared. Helmsley ruled her hotel empire with an iron fist, ensuring that every aspect of her business met her exacting standards. She demanded absolute perfection from her employees, leaving no room for error. Helmsley was notorious for her biting remarks and public humiliations, often berating her staff in front of others.
"We don't pay you to breathe," she would exclaim, her voice echoing through the halls.
Her employees lived in constant fear of her volatile temper and impossible standards, always on edge. Her obsession with perfection was legendary, and she would personally inspect every detail of her hotels. From the cleanliness of the rooms to the behavior of the staff, nothing escaped her scrutiny. She would even check the alignment of silverware and the freshness of flowers, ensuring that everything was up to her high standards. Any perceived flaw would be met with a scathing rebuke, leaving employees distressed and anxious. Helmsley's behavior created a toxic work environment where fear and intimidation were the primary motivators. Employees were constantly belittled and demeaned, their morale crushed under the weight of her expectations. Fear and intimidation became the primary motivators, as Helmsley maintained her reign over her empire with an iron grip.
We are on the verge of revolutionizing healthcare. Imagine a world where you can test for hundreds of diseases with just a single drop of blood.
Elizabeth Holmes, the charismatic founder of Theranos, promised to change the face of medical testing. But behind the scenes, things were not as they seemed.
Our technology is groundbreaking. We are making healthcare accessible and affordable for everyone.
In reality, the technology was flawed, and the results were often inaccurate. Investors and patients were misled, believing in a promise that was never fulfilled.
In this industry, power is everything. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes to stay on top.
Harvey Weinstein, a powerful film producer, used his influence to manipulate and control. For years, his actions cast a dark shadow over Hollywood.
People will do anything for a role, for fame. It's just the way it works.
But eventually, the truth came to light. The stories of abuse and exploitation could no longer be ignored, leading to a significant reckoning in the entertainment industry. In the world of pharmaceuticals, few names have sparked as much outrage as Martin Shkreli. Known infamously as the Pharma bro, Shkreli gained notoriety for drastically increasing the price of a life-saving drug. His actions highlighted the dark side of pharmaceutical profiteering, turning him into a public enemy almost overnight. Shkreli's case serves as a stark reminder of the ethical responsibilities that come with power in the healthcare industry. The story of Tyco International is a tale of excess and corporate greed. Under the leadership of CEO Dennis Kozlowski, Tyco became synonymous with lavish spending and financial misconduct. Kozlowski's extravagant lifestyle, funded by the company, included everything from a $6,000 shower curtain to a $2 million birthday party. This unchecked excess ultimately led to his downfall and highlighted the critical need for stringent corporate governance and accountability. Unethical leadership comes at a high price, not just for the individuals involved, but for entire organizations and their stakeholders. From Enron to Theranos, the consequences of unethical decisions ripple through communities, economies, and lives. These stories serve as cautionary tales, emphasizing the importance of integrity and ethical behavior in leadership roles. When leaders prioritize personal gain over ethical considerations, the fallout can be devastating and far-reaching. In the face of these cautionary tales, the call for ethical leadership has never been more urgent. Ethical leaders prioritize transparency, accountability, and the well-being of their stakeholders. They understand that true leadership is not just about achieving success, but about doing so in a manner that is fair, just, and sustainable. As we move forward, the lessons from these stories must guide us towards a future where ethical leadership is the norm.